All right, what is going on, everyone? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, how in the heck are you doing today? I hope I find all of you well. I hope everyone had a great week last week. We are kicking off this week. Hope everyone's ready to get up, get after it, had a great weekend, and ready to get back at it on the charts, at your job, whatever it is that you do or are looking forward to this week. I hope you're ready to get after it. But today I want to make a bit of a different video from my usual, and I'm not going to be talking about trading today. Alright, I'm going to be talking about these things, motorcycles. Alright, it's starting to warm up. It's starting to get back into that riding season for most people again. For me, riding season doesn't stop. I ride this thing 365 days a year. It's my only mode of transport. As of April, it'll be my the beginning of April will be my very first year complete, essentially, and owning this thing. And yeah, I want to just kind of cover a couple different things that I feel like might be helpful to those maybe looking to get one, thinking about getting one, whatever it may be, essentially, right? Now, since I ride this thing all the time, right, I ride whether it is raining, whether it is freezing cold. I've rode, in some really rainy, tough conditions. I've rode in, 15-degree weather. I've rode in 10-degree weather. I've rode in some pretty grimy conditions when it comes down to it, right? And one thing that I want to just say is, for anyone that has thought about maybe getting it as a just cheaper mode of transport, not all bikes are cheap, but the one that I have is very cheap. It costs me next to nothing to maintain, to ride, it's really cheap. And so it works for me. I don't have kids, I don't have a wife, I don't have a girlfriend, I don't have any of these extra things, and I probably won't for the foreseeable future, because again, I got stuff in my life that I want to do, that I want to try, all these things that honestly I'm just not going to let, all this other stuff get in the way of, realistically. At least for, not for right now. But anywho, I want to make this very, very clear when I say this. Alright, motorcycles are dangerous, alright? They are very, very dangerous. You can mess yourself up fast. It doesn't matter whether you have been riding for years, whether you've been riding, for a month, whether, you have a fast bike, a slow bike, it doesn't matter, okay? Things will happen. As you can see from the side of my bike right here, hopefully the camera caught it, right? There's scrapes from whenever I had, I've had, what, 3 slides in the past year. 2 of those just being user error, a little bit too much front brake, a little bit too much back brake in the rain. Then the other one was because somebody didn't look and just ended up pulling out in front of me, alright? And that is a very real reality when it comes to motorcycles. People don't look, alright? Be safe out there. If you're going to get one, take that into account. Be defensive. Watch people. Don't get distracted by other things, all this other stuff. Because the second you get distracted on one of these, that's where bad things start to happen. Alright? So, I just want to make that very clear. They are dangerous. Alright? Come to terms with the fact that, these could end your life at any given time and you just not know it. Alright? Now, that's out of the way. Motorcycles are fun, dude. They are cool. They are really cool. Honestly, for me, I wouldn't give up my motorcycle for anything, okay? Personally, I'm at a point where now I just want to get more bikes. I have stopped caring about getting a car, but this is just for me, alright? I don't really see the need for me to get a car at the current time. I can go anywhere that I need to or want to on this little thing right here for half the cost, And, cars just, in my eyes at least, cars are expensive. They're a luxury item. This, in a sense, a motorcycle is a luxury item, but I don't know. I don't really consider this as a luxury item. Some parts of the world, this is just a normal thing for them. Cars are a big luxury. So, if they're sitting out here doing it every day, why can't I? Right? But yeah, motorcycles, they're extremely fun. You'll meet a lot of really cool people in the community, especially. You know, you'll get to see a lot of the world in just in a different light from what you normally would, right? You'll get a chance to just take in nature from a completely different point of view, right? That you just won't get in a car. It is a completely different experience. On that note as well, I do want to make it very clear, riding a motorcycle is not right. It's not like riding a bicycle or something like that, all right? It is nothing like that. I mean, it is, but to a certain extent, all right? There are fundamentals of a motorcycle that you don't have to worry about on a bicycle, you know, like a pedal bike kind of thing. So realistically, at the end of the day, if you're going to end up getting one of these, make sure that you're learning the fundamentals of that. Your clutch work, how to operate the front brake, how to use the back brake, you know, how to shift properly, how do you rev match properly. All of these things come into play. It's a factor. Make sure that you learn these things and educate yourselves on these things, because again, it comes back down to safety. All right, you got to be safe. Be safe out here, all right? I don't want to hear, you know, that something bad happened to one of you guys when, you know, I could have just advised you of, you know, certain aspects of being safe on a motorcycle that could have completely avoided that, all right? One of the big hurdles whenever I first got this, or was considering first getting a motorcycle, was getting over the problems of people around me telling me that that's not a good idea, that I shouldn't do that, you know, that shouldn't happen, you know, things like that. And realistically, at the end of the day, I don't think you should let anybody dictate what is okay and what's not okay for you, or what's good and what's bad, because nobody really knows, right? Everybody who doesn't ride motorcycles and has never touched a motorcycle in their life told me that it's dangerous and I shouldn't get one. The only people who told me I should are the people who ride them every day, right? My buddy who got me into motorcycles was the very first one to tell me, yeah, dude, they're awesome. They're dangerous, but they're awesome if you like that kind of stuff. And that's stuff that I like, all right? I love it. Also, I'm about to go into the store here in a second, so I will probably cut to segment essentially after I get out of the store here. It is so windy out today. Woof. And then I will, but yeah, I'll finish up this video as soon as I get out of the store over here in just a second. Alright, cool. Man, that sunset is beautiful. Alright. So, as I was saying before, yeah, motorcycles, they're fun, they're cool, they're awesome. And personally for me, you know, I would like to combine the fun and, you know, the efficiency of a motorcycle. And so that's why for my first bike, I got something slow. I got something, you know, smaller. I got something that I can actually manage. You know, I didn't want to ride outside of my means, you know, before I even get a chance to truly have fun on a motorcycle, right? So if you're looking to get your first motorcycle, personally, I highly recommend getting something smaller cc. You know, maybe like a, you know, I would say as high as, at most, maybe a 400. Recommend like anything between a 200 to a 400, right? They just, at the end of the day, it's much easier to maintain. So you got people like that. It's not your right of way, buddy. Sorry. You got people like that are just going to jump out in front of you. You got to be ready for it. Be careful. All right. This ain't a game out here with these things. I'll tell you that right now. This ain't no game. But yeah, I'd highly recommend getting something, you know, smaller displacement, something easier to manage. You know, something much lighter, because again, the bigger the bike, the heavier the bike, again, the harder it is to manage that. And just like the power, you know, like whenever you're giving it gas, man, you'll whiskey throttle pretty easily if you're not careful on something, you know, especially something bigger. I think my second accident that I ever ended up actually having, literally, if I had a bigger bike with a higher displacement, my whole bike would have just wrecked into the side of these people's houses. because I was leaving the beach, got caught on a patch of gravel. It, you know, threw off the balance of the bike like that, and I just straight whiskey throttled it. And luckily, you know, the bike didn't go all that far because it didn't have all that much power in the moment. I need to get gas. Let's head to the gas station, boys. Or not just boys, but ladies and gentlemen. Let us head on and get some gas and then head on home. Oh, that is so beautiful. I love it. But yeah, you know, get a smaller displacement bike. Get something that is much more comfortable, something that is much more, you know, and also something cheap, man. Don't go to a dealer and just get some brand new, spanking new bike, because, you know, I guarantee you that out of the vast majority of you that end up actually getting a bike, you're gonna end up dropping it. You will, whether it's, you know, it doesn't even come down to like dropping it at, like, say, you know, while you're going. Literally just dropping it while, you know, taking it off its kickstand, while trying to, you know, sit on it, while trying to do low speed things like, you know, get started from a stop sign. Little silly things that you wouldn't think you would drop a bike doing. Alright, these are just things that you need to be aware of ahead of time. Alright, now many of you might ask me as well, how do you ride 365 days a year? Heated gloves and a waterproof jacket. Alright, this is an armored jacket. I got it on Amazon. I don't know what brand it is, but, you know, it cost me an arm and a leg, and it had a shit ton of really good reviews on it, so I just went with it. And it looks good. It's a nice looking jacket. So, you know, I highly recommend get, you know, a waterproof riding jacket and get some nice gloves. I've, you know, heated gloves for the winter for whenever it's, you know, colder out and stuff like that. And that helps. That helps. It goes a long way. A lot longer of a way than you would think it would. Alright. Now, let's get some gas. Womp. Womp. I gotta go inside because I'm paying cash. What pump is this? 1. He was number 1. Alright. How's it going? Can I get 7 on pump 1? Yes. Thank you so much. All right. And just for proof of concept of how cheap it can be with a motorcycle, this is all I'm going to need to pretty much fill up my motorcycle. Or just about, because I think we're running right at empty. I can't move. Actually, let me just take that out. Put this in. And maneuver. Okay, cool. Alright. Let's go ahead and get her with the premium. Yeah, not exactly full, but I didn't really want to get it right at full. I don't want to go over. It's usually about like $7 to $10 to fill up a full tank, pretty much. Probably end up filling up more tomorrow. Yeah, give me a little over half tank. It's not bad. I ain't worried about topping it off right now. I'm just trying to get home. I'm hungry, tired. Got a long day tomorrow. Man, look at that view. Look at that view. But yeah, motorcycles, like, realistically, they have changed my life for the better, in my opinion. This stuff is like a therapy to me. If I'm having a bad day, man, I just go get on my motorcycle and go for a ride. You know, and motorcycles, realistically, at the end of the day, I'm gonna let you know right now, motorcycles are not for everyone, okay? They really are not for everyone. This is, if you are not the most hand-eye coordinated and things like that, and you struggle with, you know, let's say driving as regular, which is okay, you know, some people just, that's not their strong suit. Yeah, see, just about full tank. But anywho, yeah, you know, if you're not the most, if you're not that good at hand-eye coordination and things like that, then maybe motorcycles might not be for you. It might just not be your thing, you know. And that's okay. Some people just like watching, some people, you know, enjoy, you know, there's many different ways to enjoy motorcycles, right? You got the green, let's go, baby. But yeah, it is definitely, I want to let you know right now, it is 110% possible to have this as your main mode of transportation, alright? You'd be very surprised how easy it can be to, you know, have a motorcycle as your only mode of transportation. I have done it, and I plan to do it for a while, alright? You know, I realistically, at the beginning of this summer, instead of getting a car, I want to get another bike, and that's just what I'm going to do at the end of the day, is get another motorcycle. Because that's what I want to do with my life, that's how I like spending my money, so, you know, to each their own at the end of the day. Now, if you got priorities and stuff like that, man, take care of that. If you got like a kid, and, you know, you got a girl, and, you know, you got all this other stuff, you know, that you probably would need a car to have, or would need to have a car for, you know, because you got like passengers consistently or something, you know, whatever it may be, or you just live, you know, somewhere where it snows for a vast majority of the year, you know, you live, whatever it may be, get your priorities straight, man. If you got priorities, that takes, that automatically, I mean, that's what makes it a priority, right? Like, get that settled, and then get a bike. But to anyone who doesn't, and is interested in getting a bike, but has a bunch of people telling them, you know, don't get a motorcycle, it's dangerous, it's this, that, and the other, man, get that bike. If you don't get that bike, oh, I almost fell over trying to look at old buddy. I was like, what is he riding? But yeah, like, real shit, man, get that bike. Stop letting people tell you what to do. Stop letting people run your life. You want a view like this, man? You know, you want a view that, like, come on, I'm sorry, but like, even being in a car, I get, you know, yeah, you can be in a car and see the same things, but it's just not experienced the same way. Life behind a visor versus behind, you know, a front windshield is a completely different thing. It is so different, and it's something that, quite honestly, words can't begin to describe, okay? I can't put into physical words just how different a motorcycle is from riding in a car. But yeah, if you're considering getting a motorcycle as well, make sure that you're learning, alright? Whenever you get a motorcycle, it is very different from a bike, from like a bicycle and stuff like that, or just like, you know, anything that you probably rode around on as a kid. It's even different, you know, in its own rights from like dirt bikes and stuff. Like, I used to ride dirt bikes as a kid, so I always kind of had an interest in motorcycles. But dirt bikes is a whole different beast compared to street bikes like this, right? They don't function the same. Their physics work a little different. There's a lot more involvement, and, you know, like, just many different factors, to each their own. But learn how to ride your bike, right? Learn how to work your clutch, right? Learn how to use the front brake, how much front brake to use. Learn how to use the back brake. Learn how to shift gears properly. Learn how to rev match. Things like that. Learn how to, you know, move, like, say you're at a light like I just was, right? Learn how to start from a stop very quickly and get out of the way in case you ever need to. Hang on, this is really fun. Yeah. I love doing that. I know it's terrible for my suspension, but let me live, man. But yeah, you know, learn the fundamentals of these things before you go getting on one and just assuming that you're just going to be the best rider in the world, you know? It's not how that thing works, all right? But anywho, it's kind of a short video. I will leave you guys with this nice little view to end the video. I hope all of you have a great week. I'll have another video up Wednesday for all of you. I hope everyone's, you know, happy, healthy, and living life to the fullest, all right? But anywho, I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great one. Peace.